Hi everyone. All right, we're gonna go over your quiz review. This was the option if you weren't able to or you chose not to attend the live view session, Zoom session. So if you're planning on going to the live Zoom session, you don't need to watch this video because I'm going to do the exact same thing there, just in real time so that you can ask questions. Okay, so both things will be happening, but it just is whether you want it live or you're gonna do it on your own. So I'm just going to go through each of these instead of giving you an answer key and talk about how to solve all of them. And then you're going to correct your work, okay? So the first thing that we're doing is we're evaluating, which remember means we're plugging in values. So we have 3xy minus 5, and we know x equals negative 2. So that means we're going to take that negative 2 and we're going to put it right there. So that means we'll have 3, and there's invisible multiplication in between my 3, my x, and my y. So I have to remember that means 3 times x. So in this case, 3 times negative 2, and then times my y equals 9. So that will go right there. So times 9. And then I need to remember my minus 5 at the end. Okay? So we'll now do our multiplication. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6 times 9 minus 5. Negative 6 times 9 is negative 54 minus 5. And negative 54 minus 5 more is negative 59. Okay? So next we have x equals negative 10. So we'll put that right there. So that makes it negative 2 times negative 10 plus y is 5. So that goes right there. So plus 8 times 5. Remember, it's 8 times, not 5 times 5, not 85. This means multiplication. And then minus 4. So we'll do our multiplication. Negative 2 times negative 10 is a positive 20. Plus 8 times 5 is 40. Minus 4. And then 20 plus 40 is 60. Minus 4. So 60 minus 4 is 56. Okay, next we're moving on to simplifying. So first we have distributive property. So we're going to take this 3 and multiply it by everything inside the parentheses. So 3 times 4x, 3 times 4 is 12x, plus 3 times 5 is 15, and then I add in my y. And last, 3 times 9 is 36, and there's a minus right there. So 12x plus 15y minus 36. Okay. Next, we're going to be combining like terms. There's no parentheses, so no distributive property. So just look for my like terms. I've got 3x plus 4x. 3 plus 4 is 7. So I have 7 x's total. And then I've got a minus 7 or negative 7 plus 2. So negative 7 plus 2 is going to be negative or minus 5. So 7x minus 5. All right. Next, we're simplifying and we're doing both. We have both distributive property and combining like terms. So we'll start by distributing. So 4 times 4x is 16x, and 4 times 8 is plus 32. And then I just add in my minus 2x at the end. Can't forget that. And then I'll combine my like terms. I've got 16x minus 2x. Don't forget that minus. 16x minus 2x is 14x. And then I've just got my plus 32. So 14x plus 32. Okay, next one. This one's a little bit trickier. So now I've got distributive again, and I have to remember that this minus 2 turns this into a negative 2. So I've got negative 2. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Times everything inside, and then I have to think about this negative. So this negative flips the sign of everything inside. So this positive 9y turns into a negative 9y, and this minus 8 turns into a plus 8. Okay, so that negative is now taken care of. So I've got 2 times 9, or negative 9. So that's a negative 18y. And then I've got 2, so I've got then my plus, and 2 times 8 is 16. And then I remember my other pieces that I have to bring down. So I've got my 6y and my plus 13x. Okay? So now we're going to combine like terms. So I'm going to go in alphabetical order. You don't have to do this, but this is often what is done. So I'll start with my positive 13x, since that comes first alphabetically. And there's no other x's, so I'll just have 13x. And then I will have my y's. So I have a 6y minus 18y. So 6 minus 18 is negative 12y. And I'll do red next. And then I just have my plus 16. Okay, so my final answer is 13x minus 12y plus 16. If your order is a little bit different, that's okay. So maybe you have negative 12y plus 13x plus 16. That's also correct. Or you could have negative 12y plus 16 plus 13x. That's also correct. Maybe you have your 16 first. As long as you have all of your numbers are correct and there's a minus or a negative in front of the 12 and a plus or a positive in front of the other two, then you are correct. Okay? So your numbers have to match and the signs in front of them have to match. But other than that, your answer is correct. Okay? Make sure that you correct all of your answers based on this key. And if you have any questions, that you let me know so that we get those figured out before your quiz tomorrow.